Welcome back to the Puck Drops here. Okay. Trent, you here? What's that?
Hello?
Hey, Trent. So let's talk right now. They just gave it's 2 roughing penalties, by the way. 2 roughing penalties. It's all Devils in Nashville. They're up 3-0. End of the second, 3-1 St. Louis against Colorado. So that's intriguing. It was Chicago, actually, we needed, not Tampa Bay. But Chicago leads 1-0 after the end of the first. End of the second, Colorado, St. Louis. End of the second, Tampa Bay beating Seattle 1-0. They're in the first, Stars and Islanders. It's 1-0 Dallas. I can't do that game. So perfectly, it is time to go to Rutgers USC again. And if you want to watch that with me, Trent, that is on FS1. The last college basketball game. Driving towards the hole and getting it to go, and the foul for the Scarlet Knights. And that is one of the longest tenured Rutgers players. Remember, they have a lot of young guys, 2 big freshmen. This guy's been there. And a great pass across. Rutgers looks to really get things going right now. They lead by 9, 70-61. Both teams are going to be in the bonus for the rest of regulation, Trent. Trent, if you want, you ask me anything, you want to analyze a game, you want to say anything, feel free to cut me off, feel free to talk to me. You want to say anything, you have a question, you have a comment, you have a sports question, you want to do a color, you want to analyze, whatever it is. You want to talk about the sports video games, you want to talk about the comments being made if they're sports related. Let me know, all right?
Okay.
Feel free, okay?
Okay.
By the way, they're going to break. USC, Rutgers. So let's go to what can we go to? The NBA game, I guess, right? What is the NBA game? Oh, Nebraska, Purdue are wrestling. So that game's gonna end soon. We're gonna stick with NBA, even though I Trent, I can actually do that correctly, but I'm not gonna. Because I know. In fact, I forgot to tell you, I was actually doing that. Wait a minute. What about the Memphis-Cleveland game? Oh, this is Memphis-Cleveland. Why did I see that saying Oklahoma City? I can't read. Because of his effort. All right, we got free throws for Donovan Mitchell. The best team in the NBA shooting free throws right now, 8-19 to go in the first half. Mitchell will have his first. This is high archer, and it's good. By the way, we're only about 6 minutes away from puck drop in British Columbia. So we'll obviously monitor that. Why is the camera this weird? Because he never puts on his lights. So he's poor.
That he's helped develop, but I don't think there's any greater than this young man at the free throw line.
That's why.
People weren't beating his door down to get them to come to his university. He was very good in high school, but out of Brewster Academy,
Fred doesn't like showing his face. He's very shy. Mitchell hits the second. 42-39 Cleveland. Mitchell has scored the last 8 points for the Cavs. Memphis going to bring the ball up at the wing. Drive towards the basket. It's blocked, and the rebound is dunked out home. So, by the way, what we're going to be doing is, and that was Zach Edey, the big 7'3". Turn on the lights, you told me. Zach Edey is a 7'3" rookie from the University of Purdue. He is a giant, but he, as you can see, he's still a rookie. He has some trouble with zone struggles, so he doesn't really know where to go with the basketball. But Memphis makes the defensive stop, and now they're down by 1, trying to take the lead.
Backhander.
Crossing towards the basket, a stupid reach-in foul against Struess of the Cavaliers. What were you going to say, Trent?
Nothing.
No, go ahead.
No, nothing important.
Nothing important. Oh my goodness. Is it about what? Is it about what Josh is saying? No. Listen, they won. It's only fair they get to talk junk for the next couple months. You know that. If we would have won, what would you have done? Talk junk for months. And as long as you weren't offensive about it, there's nothing that could have been done.
Uh-huh.
I guess we would call that a promotion.
So he has the right to do that. I mean, what Josh is saying is nothing compared to some of the stuff I've been reading. But anyway, free throw's going to bounce out. Yeah, which isn't long. It's not long, Josh. So honestly, a year is not a long time to talk junk. Rolls it off the glass and in. Right, and I'm saying that's not a long amount of time. Zach Edey goes back and he gets a dunk blocked, but he's fouled. All right, let's go back to college. And it's like, oh, do hockey. Nothing to do. Right, Toronto, Chicago's at the end of the first. Where is that Rutgers game? By the way, out of all the sports we're going to do, and this sport I'm probably not doing unless it's still going on intermission, I didn't know about this. Trent, did you hear about this this LA skate for did you hear about this?
No.
This LA skate
Okay.
for I forget what it's called. Skate for LA, I think. It's so obviously I'm not really going to talk too much about this because I don't think I'm the right person to talk about it. But the fires and all that going on in LA, all that terrible weather damage. They are at Staples Center as a big three is hit for Dylan Harper. They are. It wasn't Harper, but they are having a charity event with I think like police and stuff like that, skating at and playing a little bit of hockey as a dunk is missed by USC at Staples Center or whatever they call it, Crypto.com Arena I'm just going to call it Staples Center for the fire victims, which is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about politics. I'm just saying like it's gotten politics about with the fires, and that's a beautiful thing they're doing. They're playing a charity hockey to raise money for those victims affected. And I think that's an awesome thing. I'm probably not going to stream it, but it is definitely awesome. The bananas are going crazy in Rutgers. And by that, I mean people in literally banana suits. And listen, I know. I've met these people. Bounces into the basket, and it is good. And a foul on the Scarlet Knights. USC won't go away. Claude to have another free throw for the Trojans. But it's been back and forth, and Dylan Harper's had one of those games. The freshman from Ramsey. Yeah, no, I've actually seen this. I've gone to their games. I've met these people. They dance in like banana suits. Like it looks like banana, like if you banana for Halloween, like a little kid. But it's grown adults. It's great. They hold these signs. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
We obviously know what Harper and Bailey are all about, but he was the next guy.
Savannah bananas.
See, I don't get that. Is that something that can be explained to me on the stream, or is that something you're gonna have to explain to me in the Instagram chat?
It's like a joke baseball team.
Give me a what?
It's a baseball team, Savannah Bananas.
Oh, okay. I never know with references anymore. I never know what's appropriate, what's not.
This got more.
Rutgers bringing it up right now. 5:25 to go in the game. Good defense by the Trojans. How'd they get that pass off? Would have been a backcourt violation, and they're going to give it to Dylan. Harper waits for the screen. Gets a screen, but it's weak side. They drink the double, and slamming it home is the former Ironman from Don Bosco Prep, Dylan Harper. This place is jumping. I still don't get the hype of college sports. Honestly, I'm right there with you. I get it. And it is the same thing as an American saying, I do not get the hype of World Junior. Like, who cares? It's just these kids running around and everybody go, like, why is it, like, it's not the internet, it's the actual internationals. And it's every year. Like, what's the whole, it's kind of that. But mainly men's basketball and football. A little bit of hockey too. The Frozen Four gets crazy too. And yeah, I'm thinking of streaming the Frozen Four as well. I got my team's got to get to the Frozen Four. Oh, before I ask that, do you have a hockey team, Trent? Is it Penn State? Trent? All right, something happened again. He cut out. That this happens occasionally with this apparatus.
Because any pizza with any crust and any toppings means
Yeah.
All for the dream price of $9.99. The dream pizza deal at Domino's.
So what I always say with him is like that's why I said, is it something that can be mentioned here or there? We're very careful with it. He should be back. I watched Frozen 4 because I watched for prospects. I like him. No, my team is Harvard, and they seem to never be in the Frozen 4. Experience the incredible true story no one believed possible. They're going to commercial. Okay, how much is the other NHL games on? Yeah. In the U.S., it's more of a big deal with college basketball because of the way that they set the tournament in, which is, it's funny. It seems like such a crazy deal with the tournament because you have a 16 and a 1. I'll just tell you because you guys know what I do, Josh. In high school sports in New Jersey, it's the same bracket system. So it's very easy to follow. So they're like, oh, a 16 and a 1, like that doesn't really happen in other sports. Well, when you follow, when you're always, if you have to follow high school sports for any reason, which you usually don't, but if you have to, if you're in a job like me, you see that same bracket system all the time. Harvard, Jimmy Vesey, and Alex Killorn, and Dominic Moore. They're in the third in Seattle, Tampa. Let's go to that. They're telling us that Detroit already won. I already let you guys know about that. That's how good I am. And in Tampa Bay. So by the way, Seattle gets the puck and chops it on down. Who does he play for? I have no idea. Is it the Rangers? Buffalo? Because he's usually on those two teams. Puck slips back out the red line and it goes all the way down for Seattle to play. Jamie Alexiak banks it out off the far boards where it can be slammed on down. And it's going to be icing on Seattle.
Well, Nick Paul wasn't happy with this play here as he deflects it past Larson.
So we're looking at the rolling puck. All right,
towards the net. You watch the
Trent, what happened,
right
my
there,
friend?
just
They kick you out
below the hands,
again.
doesn't make the contact there. Paul doesn't end up getting that
Trent.
shot off, so a good recovery there. As Larson was
Trent.
able to turn the stick and not get the hand
Stolly.
contact. Get the hand
Very
contact.
nice.
The refs are looking for that.
I don't know what's going on.
Hand up in the air for the hooking call, so
He'll come back. It's like, oh, there you go. Trent, did it kick you out again?
Here.
Did it kick you out again?
No, I left. That was my. I got.
Oh, okay. So Trent, we were asking what your hockey team is for college. Is it Penn State?
Lehigh.
Lehigh. Oh, okay. They're fairly good. No, I was complaining how my team never makes the Frozen Four, which is Harvard.
Sets up that opportunity. Matty going back the other way, trying to
Lehigh and Penn State. I like both of them.
You like Harvard as well?
No, Penn State. Lehigh and Penn State.
Penn State. I don't have a second. If I had a second, I don't. But I've always leaned nicely towards Michigan and North Dakota. Or not sure. Yeah, North Dakota, where Besser went. Point on the left line. Point left hash. Fed one. It's deflected away. They're already in the third period. 1-0 Lightning. How we got here, Josh? A shorthanded goal 10 seconds into the Tampa Bay penalty for Brandon Hagel. And this is a big game because a regulation win by Seattle and a win by the Red Wings puts the Red Wings only 2 points out of third place in the division from Tampa Bay. Kucherov feeds Point. Left hash, there's Kucherov. Kucherov delays it. Kucherov, one-timer, save made. Rebound, there's Jake Gensel. And Gensel looking out for Point. Point swings one right corner. Point delays in the drop pass. We know you like Michigan for basketball, but I don't like them for hockey. Just like I have no problem with them for hockey. I'm kind of fond of them, but I'd probably lean more towards North Dakota.
Slams table
Here's
5
Eli
times.
Tolman
He's
in left
never his
hash.
foot.
What's up?
Nothing.
What, Trent?
Slams table 5 times. He's never each foot.
Trent, can you be normal? Josh
Yeah.
needs to see how you have been a guy that actually is pursuing. Because Josh doesn't know this. You have been a guy that's pursuing. Oh, here's a break coming in. And Bjorkstrand deflects it, but not out. Like, you're actually thinking about journalism and broadcasting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Show Josh that you've matured to that level.
No, he knows. We talked
He does know?
Yeah.
Okay. Puck flung right off the boards. I think I've asked you this before, but do you know, does your school have like broadcasts or stuff that they can do for like the students?
Yeah.
You should do that this year.
I've thought about it.
Trent, if you're really pursuing this, if you can do that, that'll get you in a good spot for high school.
Maybe.
I would definitely pursue it, but that's up to you. Now, if you didn't care, if you were just like watching sports broadcasts and streams, but you were into like science or something else, like I get it. Yeah, I would not be pushing. But since you're involved, if you want, since you've watched me for years, and you're always interested in the field, and you're always asking, what can I do for the field? You know, like, is this what you do? Is this how you do? Is this how you get better? Then that would be what that would be my advice. Because it's not like you're not interested. You're heavily interested. So I'm just giving you my advice as a guy that's working semi-pro. I am working professional. I work for a professional company. We're just not doing professional sports. But it's still, yeah, I'm working professional. So, that's key. As the puck is spotted down. And you have to remember, real quick before I go back to hockey, at the Red Wings game we started, we just were streaming Dylan Harper dunking the ball. I interviewed Dylan Harper at a high school game this year. Oh, yeah. And
No.
Don Bosco Prep Ironman. I was talking about Don Bosco Prep Ironman. Yeah, I interviewed him against a school called Ramapo. And, I interviewed him. We didn't call the game, but I took notes on him, and I had an interview that was on our social media. I'm trying to think of who else, like maybe you is like a key player you might watch in college. Back to the Red Wing game. I'll think about it, and I'll see if anybody pops into my head if this is banked in. As this is banked in and slid across. Do you watch Syracuse at all? Football?
Not much.
Okay. If I said, no, it's not. Emmanuel Ross is not a guy that comes to mind as a freshman receiver.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got something for you. You're a Penn State fan, right?
Yep.
So have you heard, as Anaheim's moving the puck here, of the prospect, I think it's Jameer Joseph, the corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I broadcasted him this year.
Oh, really?
St. Joseph Montville corner, yep. I broadcasted a one-handed pick that he had. Oh, my God. It's unbelievable. He was falling on his back. It was an Odell Beckham catch. Yeah. So there you go. You know what I'm talking about? So that's professional. So if you're ever really interested, I'll definitely help you the right way. And Josh, I don't know if he's in the broadcast field, but I know he knows about it. So, lean on your elders. That's all I'll say. But that'll be it for me for the rest of the stream about that stuff. But
okay.
Definitely just some advice. I mean, you do what you got to do, but just wanted to give some advice. And listen, I've been given advice too that I've had to learn, and you think you know it all, and you don't know in the library. Here come the Red Wings right off the boards, and they'll clank it on in. No, but I know you know about it. I know that. I know you know about it. You're very knowledgeable about how it works. Specifically because you've talked to me about broadcasters and how they made a good call here, and it's fed wide of the net for Anaheim. Like, you're more knowledgeable than most about the inner workings. No Uber. I don't want a notification. It's fed right back off the red line, and the Red Wings will slam it through. It's Patrick on the right hash. Pat delays right back under the break, and only missed the net. DeBrincat on the one hand forced that on through, and it comes right out behind for Patrick Kane. Kane swivels one through, and it's just a lobbing pass, a bit too hot to handle for JT Compher, where it can be chopped down and gesticulated to the blue line, where it is forged onto the right hash, comes right back into the slot. Patrick tries to keep it in. He does keep it onside, making sure the front of the puck ladles itself and straddles right off the blue line. It is battled on down, but forced on through. That would be interesting. I'm thinking about coaching in the off season when I don't broadcast. Not when I don't stream, but when I don't broadcast for my work. Seeing athletes and coaches every day has got me that bug to go back into it. Likely be a basketball coach only because that's one real key one that I've played, but I don't know. Anyway, the Red Wings will force it on through. It's Mo Sider right from the corner, and he'll feed it on through right back out at the blue line. It zips its way through, and here comes the Red Wings again at the left hash. And fed one wide of the net. By the way, it's 10:09, 10 minutes left in the third period. Still 1-0 in favor of Tampa Bay in that other game. There's 16 minutes left here. We played 4 minutes, and it's still 4-2. Believe it or not, only 25 shots for us. Anaheim's at 21. You also ref for a bit? Yeah. A broadcaster I've worked with, actually, for a hockey game, and I've spoken to for some others. He's done some other sports. He used to be a ref, and he was a ref in New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania for I want to say 15 years after being a player out in New York State, and he didn't really want to ref anymore, but he took up not broadcasting necessarily like I'm doing to build, but just kind of semi-pro, semi-broadcasting. Because basically for the high school, you could either be someone older that's just kind of trying to learn how to call games, and you can just work with that, and you can make a bit of a living, or you can be like me, where you're using it as a stepping stone to get to the higher levels. And he's the opposite. Penalty coming up against Anaheim. He's a real good guy. Really knows what he's talking about. Being a ref for so many years. Anyway, back out to the right hash. Man comes out to the bench. We are going to go on the power play soon. Lucas Raymond drips it back out to the blue line. Force one out to the right hash. There's a shot by Dillon, and he missed the net. Gudas, I think, is going to touch the puck. Now he will. And now Radko Gudas is going after Simon Edmondson for no reason. And Radko Gudas is going to the box. And Mickey Redmond is a great character. He just said, that's what he does. He does this. And listen, I loved him with the Panthers, but he did this. Trent, do I have to educate you on Radko Gudas, or do you have that covered?
No. He was Flyer.
As a Flyer fan, yeah, I think you know about, because he went at Vetrano, and that was at the end of the period. This is, Mickey Redmond said it perfectly, and it's the guy that I loved having Radko Gudas on the team as a Panther. This is what he does. And here's the funny thing about Gudas. Mike Matheson, not a likable guy. I'm sorry, just not. Same thing with Matt Cook. Gudas is likable. right, Josh? I heard Josh, call you Josh again. Right, Trent? I always think he's likable. Right circle. No, you say no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I find him very likable, even as a tough guy. I mean, you hate him when he's playing against you, but he's not like Cook or Avery or Matheson. And Matheson was a Panther. I did not like him on the Panthers. I'm sorry. Just like I didn't like Cook with the Wild or the Canucks. And if I know they're retired, I work with them. I wish them all the best. I know they're probably matured, great professionals now, and I know they left it all on the ice, and maybe they didn't try to be nasty, but that edge that they put on it got dirty at times. And we're just stating facts here. We're not putting emotion into it. We're just stating facts. I will not admit that. You want to admit that? Fine. I'm not admitting it. Especially look, saying that about your significant other, you know what I'm talking about. But brother, come on, you don't cross that line. I don't think DeBrincat tried to bat out of the air. He thought he was a Detroit Tiger for a second. It was banging around, and it was nearly 5-1. There's still 50 seconds left in the power play. JT Comper let it on out, and Anaheim sends it all the way down. I mean, and it's the same kind of thing. I mean, Matt Cook had some funny things he would do with the team, but you ask, what's Avs fan's name? Eric. You ask Eric if he thinks he's a funny guy. He will give you no compliment about Matt Cook being an Avs fan. Talking about the 2014 playoffs, if you remember, that was why can I not think of the player that had the injury? I can't remember. There's a shot, and it was right from why. Josh is probably going to remember the player that I cannot remember. That was tripped by. There was a slew foot by Cook. He's not there anymore, but he was a rookie. I don't think he's there anymore, but he was a rookie back.
What team?
Colorado, 2014.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Hopefully Josh is going to jump on that, and I know Josh will know. Not Gerard. This is way before that. Puck on the drop pass, and it comes away. I'm going to get the roster. I don't think he's still there. If he's still there, I'd be stunned. As this fed on down and Anaheim moving it, they've killed off the penalty. Flickered it back out to the blue line. Swiveled it on down and forked off through where it can be taken again. Yeah, no, that's another one for sure. As that was fed on back. Oh, Tyson Barrie. Yeah, Tyson Barrie.
Tyson Barrie, who was put on waivers a few days ago.
Right. So
from Calgary.
He was a rookie at that point. Cook, I think I was Cook's last year in the league or his second to last year, and he slew-footed him, and Barrie had an injury. I think it might have been an Achilles, and I think this was the year after Kobe Bryant had his Achilles injury rupture, and it was like the same deal, and that was not like that. That was ugly. Same thing they could say about another Canuck, actually, Josh. Yeah, Torres. Although I thought Torres was likable, and I understand they played for teams I like. Even in San Jose, now that was ugly because of the fact that he was going after Canucks. But I never had an issue with him. The other Canuck I was going after was not him. Was pre-Torres, and when Torres was actually a young player, I was thinking about Todd Bertuzzi, another former Red Wing, as this is sent in. That one is going to be hard to defend. Oh, yeah, I always loved him. But Todd was a great Red Wing and a Canuck, and I like Todd, but if you don't like the Red Wings or the Canucks or the Flames, actually not even if you like the Flames because they didn't like what he did to the Flames, if you don't like the Red Wings or the Canucks, it is really hard to defend Todd Bertuzzi. I'd just be honest. Anyway, back to this. The Red Wings will slam it off the boards. Who didn't like Cromwell? Wait, who finds Cromwell dirty? I never had an issue with Cromwell. The only people I think had an issue with Cromwell are actually Red Wing fans later in his career because they thought he had too much ice time, and I never believed that. Whoever thought Cromwell was a dirty player? He's just a hard-hitting player. I can't even think of a single controversial. I can think of big hits that guys didn't like, and there was the pushing and shoving, but it was clean. They just didn't like that their guy got hit. We got icing and 9:37 left in the third. It's 4-2. But I can't think of a guy. I can't think of a controversial moment with him. Oh, you're talking about goons. I wouldn't have him as a goon either. He was a hard-hitting two-way player. I remember early on, he was a really good offensive player. And he had some really good shots. He would always be real key in those overtime games. A good guy off the draw. Remember the Zetterberg goal against this Anaheim team. In fact, the last playoff game against Anaheim in Detroit, Cromwell helps them off the draw. I always thought of him as a two-way guy. Okay. Let's check to see if that Rutgers game is over. It is not. It is 89-82. Or is it still going on? Oh, it's all games. I gotta go back to that. 89-82, I believe, with 27 seconds left. We'll go to that. Yeah, it was good. Early 2000s is real good too. Okay, so we'll finish this college game up. Free throws coming for the Knights. First is good. They lead by 9. Trojans moving it up.
Really was an impressive game by Rutgers.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. And it was
A little bit of a storm that made their free throws to really
fed
good
on back,
basketball, which I think was the difference
where again it
maker
could
in that
be
first half, especially.
crunch on, and they try to go to the press and fouls against USC with 14.2 left in the second half. It's in the game, 91-85. Rutgers about to shoot some free throws. They're back to Detroit, so we'll just kind of monitor that. Puck is flung right down off the boards. Good battle from the corner. Locks in for Johnny Berggren. Feeds it a one-timer. That blast, and it goes off the boards. Swung on down. And fed it Berggren. Back to the blue line. 9 minutes to go in the third. Right back out the high slot. Tipped wide. There's a drive off the glass. 8:50 to go. It's a huge game coming up on Tuesday from St. Paul. The Red Wings play the Wild. And Jacob Trouba just elbowed Johnny Berggren right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. Oh, not what you want. By the way, in my home state, Rutgers is about to finish off a very solid win, which, in my opinion, should all but clinch them into the Big Ten tournament. That doesn't mean anything, but you'd have to really run the table to get into the actual tournament for them. But they should not have to worry about it being eliminated from the tournament if they take down USC. And they are about to, up by 10 with 5 seconds left. And it is final. They have beaten them. The final college basketball game is over. Rutgers 95, Southern California 85. Big win for the Scarlet Knights. So that college, that's over. What's up? Who is Chicken Wing Man is back? Oh, at the Red Wing game? I think he's talking about the Red Wing game. I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's a Red Wing fan. Fed it back off the slot. There's a shot and a save by Lyon. 8:28 to go in the third. We have not done an NBA score update. Oh, Trouba. Oh, yeah. Trouba, that's right. By the way, there's a minute 13 left in the fourth quarter. 127-109. They're going to break. 127-109. Toronto Raptors. Who I think Josh kind of likes, but he doesn't care that much. All right, where do we go to now? Where do we go? Let's go back to Seattle, Tampa. I mean, this game has been the one that has been really intriguing. In fact, there's been no 1-0 win so far this month. Every month has had at least one 1-0 win, and that's going to wait again because they scored 2 straight. 3-0 Tampa Bay. They have taken control
left.
5:45 to go in the third, so this game is kind of slowed
Tampa
down.
Bay has broken the game open with 2 goals in this third period. One from Nikita Kucherov and the other from Luke Glendening through center.
I don't know what Anaheim is, Josh. Oh, actually, you know what? There is a game I wanted to play. I want to play with Alexis back in the football season. We were never Alexis Dubik. You remember him. We were never able to play. Well, Trent, you could join too, but I was mainly saying for Josh. I'm going to bring up an NHL team. You kind of tell me like what you think about how they've been this season, what you think their future is, past is, whatever. So I'll give my take, you'll give your take, and Josh will give his take while I stream these games. Seattle, it's fed right off the corner, and they're trying to keep it in. We'll start with Anaheim, and we'll go to you, Trent. We'll start with you first. Kind of what your thought is on Anaheim, their future best. Just not a big synopsis, just kind of what you think they are. And I'll start with you. Try to be nice.
I think they got a good future.
I don't like good future. I don't think they have
What?
a good future because I don't know what they are. Honestly, they're not a really competitive team, but I think they've got some good players they can build around. We got to figure out what they're doing Zegras, but taking these draconian contracts that might be a fireable offense. That I don't understand. These giant contracts that
True,
they're
but
taking offside against the Red Wings. And there are legitimate prospects in the Wings that are really strong players that haven't reached yet or have reached yet on other teams and the Red Wings, but also on bottom feeders. San Jose has some incredible prospects. They have some really good prospects. Like that team, I think could when they get to where they need to go, if they continue to process the way they process, San Jose is going to be a team that's going to be a fearsome team in the West. And I think Chicago's a little weird. We'll talk about them in a second a little bit, but Chicago, I like their prospects. Anaheim, I don't know what really you're building with. I really don't know. They have a couple good players, namely the defenseman, was it Anderson, the American defenseman, but I don't really like their future or I don't like what they are right now. Underwhelming team with so I was kind of in the middle and you were complete. Yeah, I don't really understand what they are. And it's funny, Verbeek came from the Red Wings, I believe, as an assistant GM and did a pretty good job with Yzerman and a little bit under Ken Holland. But yeah, I don't know what they are. All right, as the Red Wings will spit it in, I'll move for you guys to bring it up. We'll do the next team is Boston. Trent, backhander, here's Kane. Kane swivels up the left hash. Kane and swung back out. No, Boston. Give me your take on that.
Boston?
We'll have a while to do this, so don't worry about it, because we'll have the other game and we'll have other points. Just ignore me calling the game off the corner. It's fed off the corner, try to free one back out in front, and drops and delays as that is swatted on down. You want me to just give my take while you think about it? Trent? All right. So we'll do that because I think he's having technical issues again. We shall do that as this puck is taken out. Okay. Just let me know if you have a thought on Boston or what you'd say their team is. 4-1 Tampa Bay, by the way. They just scored into an empty net. So it's Kucherov. They are likely to win that game. But your thought on Boston, or if you want me to take it, I can take it.
I don't see them being a contender in a few
I
years.
don't think they're going to be I think they're going to
done.
kind of be a pretender in the next couple of years. I think they're a good, solid team right now.
Yeah.
I think they've got some offense, and I think they do have a good blue line. My issue is with their goaltender, and my issue is what their top line guys are going to be. It's funny. I think in the next couple of years, they're going to be a team that has a really strong bottom six and have a lot of depth forward wise, as well as a team that have some good blue liners. My issue is, sorry about that. My issue is, I don't think in the future they have a team. To be honest with you, that's that great top heavy, and that's going to be an issue. So maybe they could be a wild card team consistently, in the near future, but I think their window maybe 2 years to really compete. I don't think so. Anyway, the Red Wings will straddle it out to center. I'm going to broadcast a little bit of this as we swat through, and looking at what he said. Boston, time is finally up on them. Yeah, I don't know if time is up on them right now, but it's a year or two. It'll be done on them. And I don't know how well the DeBrusk trade has helped the Canucks. We'll talk about that later. But I definitely think that Zadorov, it really did nothing for the Bruins. It didn't. I don't know if it did anything negatively to them, but it didn't do anything positive as that puck is swallowed up again. That this puck is swallowed up again and held.
Who's Boston's best prospect? Because I know their
I
prospect
have
pool
no
isn't really
clue.
that good.
I have
I don't believe.
They don't really have any great prospects, to be honest with you. So,
Yeah.
let's go to a different 7 o'clock, a different 6 o'clock game, if you will. We had one on as they're going to break, and we'll think of the next team. Next team is Buffalo.
Buffalo. Oh,
I
no.
think they got. I don't like their management. I'll be honest. I don't like
No.
their management. I think they have tremendous talent. They have a lot of talent, but I think the structure is off. I don't understand, the coaching style. I don't think really works for them, but I think they're wasting a lot of talent. I think the management isn't best for them, although it is a great organization. But I think they have a lot of talent, but they're going to be in the same room as a lot of these teams that we've already mentioned if they don't figure it out. And they need to and I do think they need to get some top heavy, really game changing players offensively on their team. That's my thought on Buffalo.
Poitras
Trent?
for Boston, yeah. Josh, I
Know
I don't
about
know.
Buffalo.
Because they've got Power, Byram. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like it got all the young players, but it's not showing. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think they have some really strong offensive players, but I think
Yeah.
they need a legitimate franchise player, game changer guy. As we're watching a franchise guy in Nathan McKinnon, they need that guy, and they need to figure out the style they want to play. They honestly they don't have an identity. Yeah, I think that might be the biggest thing more than anything is I think they need an identity and a franchise player because it's sad they have a lot of talent.
Uh-huh.
They have a lot of talent. I thought they'd be the next good young team coming up, but no. And here's a play right off the face-off, and the Red Wings swing it off the corner. It is poked right back out to the right hash. The next team, by the way, is Carolina. Oh, excuse me, Calgary. Next team is Calgary, as this puck is taken right off out of the boards. 4:52 left in the third. Still 4-2 Red Wings. Here's my thing
Well,
with Calgary, real quick. Calgary is an enigma to me. I don't know what really they are. They
same.
also have gotten some good young players, but the trade with Philadelphia is mind-boggling. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't think they know what they want to do in goal. They have some key prospects they can build around, specifically with the forwards, but I don't know where their ceiling is. And I think if they play their cards right, they could be the next good young team. If they play them wrong, they're just going to be a mediocre team. They're definitely on their rise from what they've been. I don't know how far the ascent is for them now. I don't know their ceiling. As this puck comes off the boards, then it'll be bordered on down. Yeah, that's right. Next Saturday, likely, in all likelihood, intensive purposes, we will be broadcasting the Stadium Series, the Ohio Stadium Series in Columbus at Ohio State University between the Columbus Blue Jackets and these Red Wings. 4 minutes to go in the third.
Josh, I agree that contract's horrible.
Yeah, they have
What's he
some
making, like
management.
11 million or something?
Yeah, they have some management issues. I didn't think they were going to be the worst team in hockey, but I didn't think they were going to be this good. I mean, they're decent. Looking at the wild card, though, in the East, yes, the Red Wings are the win. This is huge. They provide separation over Ottawa with the 64 points, which puts them behind Tampa. But by the way, we have final scores. I believe Tampa Bay finished that game off. The Blues have just beaten Colorado 3-1. So that is an interesting result. The Blues have beaten Colorado 3-1. The Devils are smashing Nashville. 3:09 to go in the third. 5-0 Devils. By the way, there's 22 seconds left in the third. Seattle's about to lose to Tampa Bay. And there's a minute left in the second period, by the way. Leafs 2-1. Also still 1-0 Dallas and are underway in Utah. And once the Chicago game goes to the second intermission and the other once the Chicago game goes to the intermission, since I don't have access to Devils Nashville, we'll go right to the Canuck game. Absolutely. It's icing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Calgary, but Frost and Fairby might help them for the future.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Oh, went to the Rangers Islanders game. Yeah, I was Stadium Series he's talking about. I was at the Stadium Series Devil Flyer game. That was a great game. And it's a week from yesterday, the outdoor game. It is booted right down, and the Red Wings try to send it to the empty net and cannot. Next team is Carolina.
They have to re-sign Rantanen.
They got to re-sign Rantanen. I think they're going to be a contender for the next couple years, definitely. I think if they keep the main core, and I mean the main drafted core, not Nate Chasson, he's not there anymore, but Aho, Slavin, Svechnikov, they're going to be contender for the next couple of years. A legitimate Eastern Conference contender. I think they could do that for 5 years. I really believe that. I don't know if they're a Stanley Cup contender. I think they need more forward depth for that. And I do think they should build on the back end and also a little bit in goal. That's the one thing they haven't had since Cam Ward, an elite goaltender. I think an elite goaltender and another key defenseman on the back end would put them into Stanley Cup contention. But they're definitely a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
Their system's very weird, but it fits them. They fit very well in their system. Their system offense is good. Carolina was kind of winding down. They weren't playing well early in the year, and I was like, they'll be back. And then by the time we had the new year, they were second in the division. I said, I was surprised that actually they turned it around this quickly. But I knew they were going to turn it around. I knew that. So that's, next team. Yeah, I don't think they're definitely an elite East contender, in my opinion. They're still like, if you believe that to me, that I maybe they lose in the first round. If they're in a really tough matchup, maybe, but I don't think they're in a bad position. And the Red Wings will send it all the way down and miss the empty net again. 2:40 to go in the third, icing again against the Red Wings. The next team, and maybe we'll do Trent. Would you want to do NFL after this as well with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Let's go to the next team. That is Chicago. I think they got a couple more years of being doormats. But, man, they got some prospects. And I keep hearing, Doug's going to leave. I don't think he'll leave. They got some prospects. I have one issue with them. Two issues. Number one, once again, what are we doing in goal? And number two, as Anaheim wins the draw and a shot towards the net troopers was blocked, what are we why the Albatross contracts? Not a lot of them. I see they're getting away from it. But a couple of these contracts seem a little obscene.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pause here for a bit. And they score. Anaheim is within one. Zellweger, unbelievable. And it is 4-3. Do not go away anywhere. Zellweger has made it 4-3. A trickling puck through Lyon. And the Red Wings lead has dissipated to only a goal in a game that we've mainly dominated. But a shot that had eyes. Killorn went to the net. And Zellweger's drive goes right through Alex Lyon and goes in.
True.
Now, he makes a good point.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, New York was really good. But I'll say this. If you lost to New York in 6 or 7, where you won both games at home or you split games, fair. The fact they were down 3-0, and remember, the game-winning goal in Game 4 looked like it was going to go overtime, was scored with about 2:50 left. The fact that you came that close to being swept, I do agree with that point. Now, Rantanen is better than Gensel. Yes, he is. Now we go to Colorado. And Trent, I have been talking about this. Colorado, they are a cup contender, in my opinion. I know it sounds hard. They're not even third in the division. They have just not gotten the bounces. They are a cup contender, I believe. As there's a minute 40 left in the third, this puck swiveled off the boards. But they need to figure out what they're doing with their offensive lineup. They got to figure out what they're doing between the pipes. And I believe, and I said this to Trent, Josh, I believe that Rantanen, they believe Nick Josh is the difference. No, I believe they want a guy like Crosby. Yes, Sidney Crosby. I believe somebody like him, because of the cap space that was dropped off by Colorado. They are a legitimate cup contender, but they definitely have to figure out the goaltending situation, and they have to figure out what other superstar they can bring on offensively for their team. And they got to stay healthy on the blue line. I agree. That backhander score. Are you kidding me? Anaheim has tied it. This is shades of Game 6 in the 2013 playoffs. Anaheim has tied it with 52 seconds left. This cannot happen, yet it does. Anaheim's going for a change. They just dumped the puck in, and nobody is tying sticks. And Trent, Anaheim, how are you up 4-1 in the middle of the second period? And Anaheim scores 3 unanswered goals. Gauthier just lofted it over the blocker. Oh, it cannot happen, yet it does. Can't. Trent, just can't happen.
Nope.
Puck swung in, and Mo Sider will bank it off, and this building is quiet. The energy kaput. But here we come right off the blue line. Stripping it into the corner, it's Vladimir Tarasenko. Tarasenko back Soderblom, backhands it on through. Tarasenko on the forecheck, trying to build the cycle. There's Vlad. Here's Vlad. Vlad the Impaler trying to impale a puck off the corner and get it back to a man. Valeno missed his man. Shot, fan on it. Soderblom keeps it alive. 18 seconds left. And this shot goes off the glass. It banks on through his Joey. Joey around the side. Valeno back out to the point. 10 seconds left, the point shot. Deflected through, and it goes wide off the boards. Mo trying to get it. It's tapped by Anaheim. 4 seconds left. 3. He's hit off the boards. 1 second left. Horn sounds. Overtime. For the second straight night, Anaheim goes to overtime in a game that should not go there. The Red Wings give up 3 goals, 2 in the third, and we are headed to overtime after Gauthier tied the game with 52 seconds left.
Josh, shut your mouth.
Say that. Cutter Gauthier. All right,
You just call me Shredder.
Next team is Columbus. I like Columbus. Well, I don't personally like them. I just have never liked Columbus. But what I mean is from a hockey fan standpoint, not a team fan. I like them. I think they have some good prospects. I think they have some good speed. They went through an emotional drawbridge that you couldn't even imagine with losing a guy in their top 6 in Johnny Gaudreau in such a sad way.
Yeah.
Columbus, we're talking about.
Yeah.
And listen, and I remember, Trent, Josh, I'll tell you this as well. I'm around New Jersey hockey almost 24/7, it feels. Every day I'm around New Jersey hockey, it feels like. The impact is felt. I've gone to 3 games, reported or broadcasted 3 games where they've had memoriams and commemorances of him and his brother. We know what that meant, but with that being said, on the ice, Columbus, I think they have some good young players. I think they're a team in a fairly good spot. I mean, they might even make the playoffs this year. I don't know. I like where they're at. I think their window could be good. I think that they honestly don't have a negative stipulation. Most of these teams have a negative stipulation, or they have somewhere to go. I just think this is one of the young teams that's going to be there at the very start of their journey. I think we're at the very start of Columbus's journey. They're a young team. I think they're going to be one of those young teams that's going to be very competitive in the long run. But we're just we're not there
Peter,
yet. Yeah.
I'm gonna get off co-stream. I'm just gonna type
Okay.
in chat. All right, is that okay?
Yeah, sure. You don't want to co-stream later in it, or no?
Yeah, later I will.
Okay,
Not right
okay.
now because my
So
phone's about to
later,
die.
because remember, we're going until the final of Oklahoma City and Minnesota, and that game doesn't
Yeah.
even start for another 45 minutes. The game doesn't even start for 45 minutes. All right, that's fine.
right.
Raymond, and you still have the links. You can hop on, hop off, right?
Yeah.
All right, left hash. Here come the Red Wings in an overtime save made, and it's held. Dylan, it'll be an offensive zone draw. Yeah, that's true. But don't they have some good defensive prospects? Because they weren't even supposed to. They're kind of my Calgary. They weren't supposed to do anything. So if they missed the playoffs, they missed the playoffs. Larkin is 3 goals away from the most overtime goals in franchise history. That's set by Sergei Fedorov. They do, but they should have some good prospects. Next team is, by the way, is Dallas. Stanley Cup contender. I think pound for pound, they're probably the best team in the West. Anaheim wins the draw. I don't know if they have that stuff that you need in the playoffs, though, that juice. There's a shot towards the net. It goes off the glass. That kind of, they have grinders. But when it comes to those guys that are going to score goals in the situations that you never know, and here we got a 2-on-1. Patrick Kane, Pat with Dylan, shoots at a save made. But those depth guys, those playoff grinders, and that just also the backup goal, a key backup goaltender, that stuff to get you over the edge. I think they're a Stanley Cup contender, one of the best Stanley Cup contenders. I don't know if they're a team ready to win the cup this year, but I think they have a sizable, maybe 3.5, 4-year window where they're going to be a Stanley Cup contender. You have Dallas winning the cup. Oh, they got guys, but that guy that Florida had it they're going to find a way. The key late third period, all the chips are on the deck. It's all the experience, and you're in a spot with a chance to win the cup. Do they have it? Do they have that it factor? I don't know if they have guys that do. I just don't. But they're a really strong team. I think the best team in the West, in my opinion, is that shot is wide. But my thing is, I think they're a team that on paper is the best team and could fall to somebody in the playoffs. There's a shot wide of the net for the Red Wings. Gustafsson back out to center. Yeah. No, they got it. It's just, but how many times do you see a team that has everything and they lose in the second round? That's the issue I have. Tarasenko a shot and it's held. Red Wings. All right, I'll start with this. Red Wings. Boy, oh boy. This is a team that's got a lot of talent, kind of like Buffalo, where they got a tremendous amount of talent but don't always show it. I need to see more from the blue liners. I need to see more consistency from the goaltenders. The Yzer plan, I know we've discussed it. I believe it is working. It's just working a little slower than they thought. And I think this is where we've realized that this Ken Holland, the stuff they put under was real bad. Gustafsson's shot hits the mesh. The hole that Ken Holland dug was just so deep that it's just taken longer to get out of it. But I think they're finally starting to peek over and see the bright side. This team, I think, is a playoff contender. I think this team's going to be a playoff contender for a little bit, but they're going to have to draft more grinding players. I do think that this team at the end of the road still can win a cup. but that's not going to be for a while. I think this team doesn't look at Cup final for about 5 years. I think this team is about 5 years away from that. But they're definitely a playoff contender. They're out of the hole, in my opinion. Here comes Lucas Raymond along the line. Drops it off Dylan. Dylan a shot, and its blocker stopped away. Lucas keeps it in. 2 minutes to go in overtime. Mo brings it ahead. The Devil game should be over, by the way. It is. The Devils blanked them 5-0. Fed one along. And swept on back, where it can be crossed through. And fed on down ahead for Anaheim to bring it through. Oh, what a save made! Save made. It went over the net. What a chance. And a break coming out. It's Patrick Kane. Pets waiting, faking, score! Patrick Kane! Red Wings win in overtime! This should not have gone as late as it did, but it goes to overtime, and the Red Wings win in an emotional cauldron game. And we will stay 7th in the Eastern Conference. 5-4, 2 points, Detroit over Anaheim. And Patrick Kane gets it done. Buffalo's own. What a play. A kick save. Anaheim nearly had the goal, and then because they deny it, there's the stretch pass, and Patrick Kane weaves his way in and scores, and the Red Wings have won the game in overtime. What a play. What a play that one was. What an incredible play by him to get that puck between the legs. And ladies and gentlemen, we are off to Vancouver. All right, so that was the point with the Red Wings. They're at a break for some reason. Are they at the break? Is it the end of the first there? That is. It's the end of the first there. 1-1 in Calgary. Second period still going Islanders and Stars. So we'll head to the NBA actually to do stuff while we wait for that to go out. Then we'll stay with the Canucks, but also monitor what's going on with Toronto, Chicago. Now, is that game coming out of the break? That might be soon. Next team is Edmonton. Edmonton is weird, guys. Look, I think they're decent. They have a very good top line, but it's the same issues with them. Their depth is not there in the bottom six when it comes to their speed. They have a bad bottom six blue line, and their goaltenders are extremely streaky. I think when they get hot, they're a really good team. I think for about 3, maybe 4 years, they'll probably still be a contender in the West. I think they're good enough to get to the final. They're not, in my opinion. Edmonton, we were going to win the cup this year. I do not believe this team can win the cup. Colorado and Dallas, we've said, I think, are 2 teams that can definitely win the cup this year. Edmonton, I do not believe can. And I think that they are going to continue to struggle and but at the same time, continue to roll. I think they're a very good team. I think they're one of the best teams in the West. Not, in my opinion, a cup team. Yeah. Goaltending, too. Their goaltending's too streaky. Josh, it is way too streaky. Their goaltending. And then we're gonna we'll jump to Florida. Why is this game not going on for some reason? I'm trying to get the Chicago-Toronto game by the way, and it's not working the way. Oh, I think it's on ESPN Night of Hockey. I think that's why it's on a different channel. That's why. Okay, I got it. They're also on break. All right, so yeah, we'll go to the NBA Cleveland game. We'll give you scores first. Bucks beat Miami, as we said. The Pistons beat the Hawks. We said that. Raptors beat Phoenix. Orlando beat Washington 110-90. They're in the third quarter. 4:42 left. 83-78. Close game. Cleveland beating Memphis, and also they're in the fourth quarter with 9:49 left in it. New Orleans by 2 against San Antonio. This is San Antonio sans Victor Wembanyama. Florida. I do think this team can win the Cup this year again. I don't think they're going to. But we're not talking about teams that we think are going to win the Cup, because that's one team. I think this is a team that I'm talking about teams that could win. I think they're in that spot where they can win a Cup this year. I think they need to get better output from their bottom six, which they were really good at getting last year. I'd like to see better offensive numbers from their defensemen and their goaltenders. I worry about their future. I worry about Florida's future. I do not think they're going to be a pretender anytime soon, but I do think in about maybe 6 years, they're going to be, they might start to really go downhill. And in about 8, and in the next decade, I think they might be under kind of where Boston is. I don't know about their future. I don't really like their prospects, but right now, I think this is definitely their Cup window. They're not the best team in the NHL, in my opinion, but they definitely, I think, still are a team that could be capable of winning the Cup. If you guys want to make your points about the Panthers. Okay, so now to Cleveland. Here's Ja Morant. Oh, what a move! But he lost the ball, and they're getting a foul on Cleveland. Keep it here, 87-78. This leads. So Trent agrees with my point about Florida. Yeah, I'd put them in with Colorado and Dallas. All right, we'll wait for Josh to. Yeah, fully agree. Yeah, they'll continue. Yeah, they got to get better prospects. But the problem is, you guys know this. The problem is when you really build a team along veterans with a veteran head coach and you win, you are not going to be able to pick good young players, and they're not going to really have the time to shine and grow. That's why there's usually young teams. That's why it's hard to reload year in and year out. That's why if you're going to do that, you have to not hit, but hammer home, hit home runs on those low round picks. As that is another fall-away jumper for Cleveland. All right, next team's Los Angeles. This team, I think is still a pretty good team in the West. I probably still put them under an Edmonton and a Dallas and a Colorado. They're nowhere near the Cup. But I do like their youth. I think they have some good prospects. I think if they fully committed to the prospect game and their young players, I think they actually could get to a Cup. But they got to find an identity, and they've got to pass the torch from the old to the new. I think they're good, and I think that they might have a long longevity. I think they may be competing for a long while in the West. I think they might still be here, honestly, in 10 years, the Kings, as a fairly competitive team in the West.
Cleveland looking to build on the best record in the NBA. And late whistle, foul called on DeAndre Hunter. It's going to be the first on Hunter. And 13 foul.
I'm not sure what you think of on them. Yeah. I think they could really work with their youth. I think they could really build around their youth and be a really successful team. Even if they go full youth movement, they might get to a cup, but I just don't. I don't know. There's a lot. It's going to be tough for them, but I don't think they're going, especially in the Pacific. By the way, Memphis is going to bring the ball out. John Morant almost got that floater to go. John Morant's moving it now. It's 89-81, 2:20 to go in the third. Morant oops it up, and it's slammed home. And so they're within 6. Now here comes Cleveland, bringing it up. The next team is Minnesota, which I don't know what they are. Top of the key, fade away for 3. Good! It drops in, and Cleveland up by 9. Yeah, that team is interesting. Minnesota, I think they started to go to the youth movement. I think that they have a good young goaltender. Yeah, I don't know what happened last year. I think they definitely got to get consistency. I think they have to figure out, Bill Guerin has to figure out kind of where he wants his future to go. And I think they need to still keep collecting prospects. I think this team, if they do the right thing, possibly could have what it takes to maybe, I'd say maybe in 4 years. They might be 4 years away from a cup final. But they're definitely going to need to get more grinders. They're getting ready for the Canuck game to start, by the way. So that's my take on the Wild. I'll wait for your takes. But yeah, getting ready for the second period here in Salt Lake City in the Canucks.
Good penalty killing. Again, it shortens the bench, but at least the Canucks and Sheloffs got through the first period unscathed. Trying to get going here in the right direction.
Thanks to
see some of the key forwards.
And we will bring out the guys to take the face off here to start the second period. The forward out there, and it's going to be face off won by Utah. They'll slingshot it around the end. I heard that Thatcher Demko is going to the IR. That is not something the Canucks want. Lafferty feeds one right back into the right circle and a backhander that just goes up high off the glass. We have 4 shots on goal. They have 11. It's still scoreless. Swung one on down at the left hash. Tied up out behind, and it comes to the corner. There's Philip Ronick. Philip delays it. Brock a drive. Blocked again. Rolling puck. We got it. Philip right hash. Philip with the drop pass. And he's going back to center ice. Ronick wades in. Philip at the right circle. Philip delays. Found a man. Backhander towards the net. That's blocked aside. And Schmaltz was out there, and here's Tyler Myers. Myers looking for Besser. Brock got the puck strung aside, and he was tied up trying to go grab it. And it swung down the red line, and it will go all the way down, and it's icing against Utah. So there's Andre Tourigny, who was an assistant coach with Arizona. He's his first year as a head coach, and he's coaching Utah, and they've done a great job. They've been a very good team. But you need somebody like a veteran coach, Rick Tocchet, former Flyer assistant as well, Rick Tocchet. No, we did not score. But there is a penalty on Utah, and it is on Logan Cooley, and the Canucks are going to the power play. So Josh isn't here. So I think Josh is dialed in on the game as I am as well. But a bad penalty taken by Utah's Logan Cooley. Take the draw. Jake DeBrus to take the draw. Actually, Elias goes in to take the face off now. Elias tied up. Swung to the boards. And it comes right off the corner. Swiveled one at the far wall, and it's tipped to center ice. 1:40 to go on the man advantage. Here's Myers. Tyler drops it off. Fed one at the red line. Elias drops it off. Comes right back out to the left hash mark. Elias got ridden off the puck. Shoving on down, Puce back to Myers. Tyler, back to Puce. Swings one towards the net. There's Jake DeBrusk. Rebound, score! It's 1-0! It's a power play goal. You break it, you bought it, you brusque it. Jake DeBrusk. And it's 1-0 Canucks. What a play. Jake DeBrusk makes at the blue line. He comes right back out of the right hash mark, and Jake goes right to the net. Elias, a perfect pass. Vimielka never saw it, and Johnny on the spot. Jake DeBrusk goes to the net, jams it home, and it is 1-0 Canucks. So once again, Jake DeBrusk opens the scoring for the Vancouver Canucks. That fed through off the far wall. So Jake DeBrusk is giving the Canucks a 1-0 lead. As we mentioned. Fed one on down, and there's Dursey. Sean Dursey a drive. And that was tipped off the far side. Chopped it back off the far side, and that again will be cleared off the zone. Back glanced up to the far side. I'm waiting for Josh's response on him. You know what we'll do? We're going to wait for Josh for hockey because I think Josh is just keyed in on this game. And we'll talk about it later as we're going to start football, actually. And we'll do hockey when he comes back as it's held. So we'll start football. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals. And I want to see your take on them. And I'll give you what I think about them. As this is held by Artur Silovs in the zone. By the way, there's 12:27 left in the third. Maple Leafs up 3-2 against Chicago. 3:38 left in the second. It's 3-2 Dallas in Belmont. And they have been taking a long time in the second, and they score. Tie game. Marino let it go, and Utah has tied the game. Marino let it go. Cooley, who had previously been assessed for the penalty that Jake DeBrusk scored on, and I'm not sure if he got a stick on it. Yeah, Logan Cooley was pumping his fist, so he'll get the goal. So he gets a minus for being in the penalty box, but he'll get a plus for scoring a goal there. And Logan Cooley has tied this game for Utah. They got the receiver of the future. I think they're a good team. I'm worried about what they are defensively, not from their secondary, Trent. I like their secondary. In fact, if you want to come on now, we could do that, Trent. Or I don't know if you still want to wait till later, but you'll let me know as Sherwood comes in. Here's key for a drive, and it was deflected off the boards. The next team would be, that worries me, the front four, the front seven. although I like their secondary. And they got to figure out the continued progressions of Kyler Murray as a quarterback, as the Canucks will swing in and around the corner. The next team I would say is Atlanta. Jake DeBrusk comes in, borders one right off the boards. There's McBain on the one hand. McBain, we're in the. You're saying they're good. Atlanta? Are you talking about Atlanta or Arizona? 3-4 years. I assume you're talking about Atlanta. They're good. I have questions about their pass rush, and I have severe questions about their offensive line. So they have to fix their offensive line, and I think they definitely have to fix, and they have to continue to build on their pass rush. Oh, Arizona. Okay. I don't know what to think of Atlanta. They got Penix Limit. No, he's starting. Penix is going to start. I don't know what Cousins is going to do. Cousins probably going to retire, or they'll try to trade him to some team that wants to take all that money. No. Penix is going to start. I think they have a good quarterback. I like their weapons, and they have a great tailback. Bijan Robinson that you can build around is just blocked out as Utah tries to bring it up. 17-6 shots favor Utah. They've been blasting it, but Arthurs has been incredible. 16 saves, and we haven't played half the second. Here come the Canucks. Lafferty banks it on in. But those are my big issues I have with Atlanta. They need a pass rush and an offensive line. Both lines need work. Yeah, I have more of an issue with. I like their D tackles. I have more of an issue with their ends and their linebackers. In fact, that's what they should draft. They should either in the first round they should either draft a top tier guard or a linebacker. And I think that from where they're picking, a linebacker would probably be the best spot, as this backhander is flipped through and it is sealed by Vimilka. Well, we go to break. Utah has tied the game. Logan Cooley. It is 1-1 between the Canucks and Utah. 13-19 to play in the second. Yeah, no, they have some players, but defensively they have a lot of issues. And the problem is you can't do anything because of that line. Let's move to Baltimore. Baltimore line, the offensive line needs a little bit of work. I think they really could. I think they're a team that could really use some more great tight ends. I know they have a great tight end, but if they could, I think they're a team that if they switch out to like the 3 tight end system, that could help Lamar Jackson. I also need more from their D tackles, and I think their biggest weakness is that secondary, especially when they play zone. Let's go Toronto, Chicago. Yeah, they'll contend for a couple of years, I think. Yeah. No, I think the secondary and the D line needs work. They have a great pass rush and some fantastic linebackers. But I'm talking about the big D tackles, and that secondary worries me. Here's Chicago, back to Chicago, Toronto, bringing it up for the Khrushchev, trying to bang it away, and Chicago did their best to try to tie the game up. This is fed down in, and when you have like physical teams you got to play, they're definitely going to have to worry about that. Toronto trying to keep it in. They do at the right circle. There's a shot. Save made. Rebound loose in front, and they score. The Maple Leafs are up 4-2. Tanev let it go, and it was deflected and banked in. And the Maple Leafs will get the goal. And Chris Tanev is going to get the goal. They said it went off a Chicago player and in. Jason Robertson hat trick. That's going on in Belmont. We're not doing that games. I can't. But it was kicked in. Oh, wow. T.J. Brody. I can't even believe. I didn't even know he's still in the league. T.J. Brody kicked the puck in, and he's playing for Chicago. And that's why, and now the Maple Leafs have a 2-goal lead. And it looks like the teams in the Atlantic Division, all behind Florida, are having good nights. And that's bad for the Panthers. They lost to Seattle. Tampa Bay won. The Red Wings won. And Chicago is losing to Toronto with 7:32 left. So Toronto might win as well. This puck is spoked back down off the corner back in Salt Lake City. And now a break for Krause and a save made by Seelovs. His 17th of the night. Artur Seelovs, what a game. Trent, next team, Buffalo. I believe, because I think Kansas City is going to have a lot of questions next year, I believe Buffalo is a team that is an absolute Super Bowl contender. I think they need another back. I think they need better backs. I'll be honest. Cook has done well, but I think they need some other backs. Another tough physical back. Maybe Monungai would be a guy that would work for them. I think they need some real top-tier special teams weapons. I think that could really change field position for them with the new rules. And I don't know what else. Maybe a D lineman or two. I think it wouldn't hurt for them to get another receiver. Maybe one that runs crossing routes more, like a inside receiver you could throw on those third and shorts. So like you got into those positions in the Chiefs game, you only needed 13 yards, like 3-4 yards, but they were clogging up the passing lanes. Maybe you had a guy that can run some really solid routes against those corners and get you those 4, 5, 6 yards that you're going to need in the AFC Championship game. I don't think they have a lot of needs left, but they do have some. Yeah, I think a second back would be good. I wouldn't mind work on the defensive line, but I think that's kind of it. Really more has to do with the team figuring out a way to play their game when you have your mental mistakes and you have that attention to your mentality when you go against a team that you never seem to be able to beat in the playoffs. I think that's more of a thing that the players in the room have to get, but it's something that can be solved with a personnel decision. Puck banks off the board from Mielka, plays it off to the corner. A backhand feed right out in front. Besser trying to get there. Brock trying to swing it on back behind, and it's swiveled to the corner. Next team is Carolina. Back out at the red line, it clanks off the glass. Mikhail Sergachev will backhand it in. Flung off the blue line and back out to center. Carolina, I think they need way more help for their quarterback. I think they need to revamp this offensive line. And they got to work on secondary, get some pass rushers, and really get him a tandem of tailbacks that he can work with. The quarterback for Panthers. But their biggest need, without a question to me, is the offensive line. All right. Chicago, as this puck is dumped in, and boy, they have a lot of issues. And I also put in the coach staff. They have an offensive coach. They got an offensive team. I'd like to see a revamp with their safeties. I'd like to see a revamp with their ends, the defensive ends. I think you need to draft a linebacker, and I think you need probably a pair of new offensive linemen for them. They're a young team. It's going to be a while for them. Well, they have some offensive weapons, but they are older, so you probably try to draft one. Maybe actually, you know what? A tight end as a security blanket would be smart for them. That might be the pick in the first round, honestly. Fed one back out at the right hash, but back to hockey. Here come the Canucks. Jake DeBrusk feeds a one-timer. And it was blanketed into the air and gloved down by Vejmelka with 9:45 to go in the second. Philip Ronick almost made it 2-1, but that blast was denied, and it is still 1-1 go to break. All right, back to Chicago. Well, Chicago hockey. Still 4-2 Leafs. Teravainen keeps in. There's a drive. Save made. Rebound. Puck came to the corner. They try to swip it. Swaffed it. McCann back out to center for Chicago to move off the boards. Foligno drops it off. Left-handed shot. There was Vlasic, and it goes all the way down. And this will be icing against the Maple Leafs. They lead 29-25 shots and 4-2. Yeah, I agree. Next is Cincinnati. Boy, I told you this. They were going to go to the Super Bowl. They would be off to the Super Bowl if Kansas City didn't mail it in against Denver. They got to figure out how to start hot in early in the season. They need some offensive linemen. They need corners. They need pass rushers. They need safeties. And they need a top-tier outside linebacker. They have a good middle linebacker. They need. I think their biggest need is an outside linebacker. If they can get into the playoffs, I don't think they're the best team in the AFC, but they are absolutely a AFC contender. Maybe not a Super Bowl contender, but an AFC contender as long as Burrow is there. And I actually think, as they're back to Vancouver, I actually think that they, even if Higgins leaves, they're in a really good spot. Because I think that if Higgins stays, they'll keep him. They won't do anything offensively in the draft. If Higgins drops, they have a great eye for Zach Taylor. He's a great eye for talent. I think they're going to try to find a really strong receiver in the draft. But I think they're fine offensively. Yeah. But I think that outside linebacker is a big need. Or sorry, the middle. Yeah, the outside linebacker is a huge need, I think, for them. Pettersson fed right back out to the point. There's a shot towards the net, and it trickles wide. 9 minutes to go in the second period. 1-1 our score. We only have 7 shots on net, believe it or not. But we're thankful to get a goal. Kraus swings it up. 18 saves for Archers. Vejmelka has 6 stops. Puck fed to the blue line. No, I like their tail. Well, they do have Brown. That is fair, but I don't think that's a move that you make. I think that's a move you make in the offseason, honestly. I don't think that's a move you make in the free agency. It's not a move you make in the draft. Puck towards the net, and it is stopped. Kevin Stenlund tried to bang it in. The second period is over. It is 4-2 Stars and Islanders, by the way. 2:50 left in the. Oh, we were talking about that. The Chicago game, and 11:49 left in the second. Yeah, they are, for whatever reason, they're at a snail's pace in Calgary. Flames have a 2-1 lead, though, right now over San Jose. Only 2 games tomorrow. Likely not broadcasting them, as Trent, you may remember. Tomorrow, technically, there was one state playoff game that we covered. I covered for our company for hockey, but it was only one because I don't even know why they played it. They just did on Friday. But the rest of the state playoff starts tomorrow and Tuesday. So we're really busy with an amazing New Jersey high school hockey state playoffs starting up. So I'm going to be engrossed into that tomorrow. So likely not streaming either of the games, although during the final game, I'll probably be monitoring Sharks and Jets, as this is fed right off the corner. and crossed along at the right hash mark. Deflected one through, and it's tipped to far side. Chopped off the corner. Slipped back into the zone, and the Canucks will ride it in at the red line. Dropped off the far wall. Canucks swivel one down, and it's blocked up ahead. Banked in. Gunther puts on the brakes, and there's a drive. Right on the side, and he put the snowshoes back on, drove the puck to the glove of Artur Silovs, who holds the puck with 7:31 to go in the second. 19 saves for Arturs. And this is kind of like game 3 of the second round last year against Edmonton. Boy, oh boy. A wire drive that Artur Silovs was able to stop and hold on. And they got Oli Mata back on the ice on a quasi-bumper position. Fed one on down, and the net's off its moorings. By the way, there's 6:57 left in Cleveland, 106-97. You want that game to speed up because I believe that they're doing the network. They would have Oklahoma City, Minnesota be a game that kind of waits, lampoons for that game to end. So you want that game to go quickly. By the way, a penalty coming up against Utah. Oh, and it is Logan Cooley roughing on Philip Ronick. He can't do that, but he does. Next team is Cleveland. Man, they need a quarterback. They need offensive line. Depending if Garrett leaves, they're going to need an entire defensive line. They need linebackers. They need corners. I think they're fine with tailbacks and receivers. Tailbacks, receivers, and kickers, I think, is all they're fine with. Everything else needs to be revamped. And they are by far a team that is going to take some time to get going. They're not. I mean, they might be 4 years, maybe 5 years from the playoffs, but they're not they're probably about 10 years away from contention. I mean, they're not. No. Next team, I'm going to give you the floor. That'd be Dallas. By the way, 6:53 to go in the second, and a minute 31 left in this Canuck power play. We have to move it. Move the puck quickly. Pelicans did beat San Antonio 114-96, by the way. Fed one down off the far side, and it clinks down the corner. By the way, it is 5-2 Toronto. It looks like they're going to come to Chicago and win. They just scored on an empty net goal. Minute 15 to go on the man advantage. We've only had 7 shots in this game. And none on this power play. Trying to backhand feed to the right hash. Utah steals it away. They bring numbers. Short-handed. Fed one back. A shot. Save. Silovs. Oh, Artur Silovs made us stop short-handed. What a play. I think you might have something with a backup quarterback. Zach Martin retiring was tough. You need an offensive line. You need a secondary. And you're going to have to figure out what you're doing in the backfield. There's a lot of speculation on what the Cowboys will do with their running backs. I don't think you're as bad as you think you're behind, but you are behind, definitely. I would agree. Tyler Myers, snowshoes up ahead. He tries to slink it to the right hash. Bank it off the far side, looking for a pass tip. Could not go. 3 seconds left in the man advantage. Kiefer goes to the right hash. He goes to the net. And Utah's killed off the penalty. They only allowed one shot on goal, which Vimielka stopped. Point shot goes wide. It's deflected, and it's back off the red line. So they've killed off the penalty in a great way. That one, they did say, clipped off the goaltender. So now Vimielka's made 8 saves, but still 20 for Artur Silovs. And here's Cooley with a drive. He misses the net, but he never went out of the rink. Looked like it was initially going to. This puck is banked off the far side. Chopped on in, and it's Victor Mancini. Mancini, the drop pass, comes to the right hash, and it's tipped aside. They'll battle along with it. 4:30 to go in the second. 1-1 our score. Blackhawks are challenging, by the way, in that other game, with 1:32 left in the game, that the empty net was offside, which would make it only 4-2. To my knowledge, unless they're challenging an offside and it's a Chicago goal, I'm not sure actually what exactly they're challenging, as this puck shoots back up, mirrors right back out to the corner. The backhand feed, and Utah keeps it in. Mikhail Sergachev with it for Utah. Fed one back out to the blue line. They have looked dominant in this game, but this one is blocked out in front, and Connor Garland sends it to center. We'll be back to regroup. 3:40 to go in the second. Utah is manhandling the Canucks on the stat sheet, but not on the scoreboard. It is 1-1. They have zone time, face-offs, goals, or not goals, excuse me, shots. But the one thing they aren't leading in is power plays and goals. Those are tied, and Canucks lead in power plays. Jake DeBrusk shoots the gap right back out. Kiefer Sherwood with a hit off the puck. Bumped off the puck. And it bounces out to the red line and down. I've heard offensive line in the draft. I've heard early third round for Kyle Monangai from Rutgers, who from Roseland, New Jersey, who is a tremendous athlete and a great kid. I met him. He really is a tough kid. Played at a great program in high school as well, Don Bosco Prep. In fact, Dylan Harper and Kyle Monangai, I don't think they went to school at the same time, but they went to the same. No, I think he was leaving when Harper was coming in. But Dylan Harper and Kyle Monangai actually have the same alma mater, if you believe that. And we're going to break here in Salt Lake City. 2:52 to go. 1-1 between the Canucks and the Canucks and Utah. They were looking at the empty net shot, and it is not offside. It is onside. It is a good goal for Nylander. 1:32 to go. Leafs have a 3-goal lead, their largest.
William Nylander likes it. Rander Sorensen might as well use it. Down by 2 already, and now confirmed down by 3.
And it's over. Dallas and the Islanders. That was quick.
So, Landon Slaggert will serve the penalty. Toronto to the power play for the remaining 1:32 for the goal.
4-2 is what we see. Stars and Islanders. The Stars have beaten the Islanders 4-2. There's 6:22 left in the second. 2-1 Calgary. 1:32 left in this third period. The Bluebirds reign in Chicago. They'll be ready to drop the puck. But yeah, it's. Oh, no. I was going to say, it's not the end of the third. I was about to say, that seems a little early for the end of the third. But no, it's the end of the second. So Dallas has not won the game. Just started, though. Stars up by 2 early in the third period. 4-2 Dallas. Big face off in the Utah zone. Pettersson swung back out. Forced it to the corner, and it drops down at the red line. And off again. Utah slinking it towards the net. But they lost their edge. As it's forced on through and a delayed offside. Being called against Utah, and it is a play with a high stick. 2:08 to go in the second. I believe it should be over now. Chicago, Toronto. It is. Toronto has won it 5-2. So all the teams behind Florida have all won today. The Maple Leafs, the Lightning, and of course the Red Wings. Right behind them. So only those 3 games left in the NHL today. 3:19 left in the fourth quarter, by the way. 116-108. Cleveland's not over yet in Ohio. And they are still not started the game between Oklahoma City and Minnesota. We're going to finish that as well. As this is spun off the red line, it's going to go down. And play down back for Mancini. Mancini off the boards. Locks it in, looking for Besser. Besser freed up. Besser twists at the hash mark. Right off the glass. And they bank it in for Besser. He's double teamed, and it's offside with 1:29 to go in the second. So that'll be interesting. .125 left in this second period. Freed one on down, and it's again slinked off the corner. Backhanded back down. And almost out, but not. Utah with the puck. Ian Cole. Fed one through, and less than a minute to go in this period. Still 1-1 our score. Goals by Cooley, and for us, Jake DeBrusk sure would have shot. Blocked. But it comes right back out to the right hash mark. Fed one to the point. There's a drive. And it's glanced out of play with 39 seconds left in the second period. Still 1-1. By the way, that late in the second as well, it is still only 2-1 Calgary. Cannot do the Islanders-Dallas game, or we would have jumped right to that. They're monitoring that game, of course, in Northeast Ohio. Puck pumped into the corner. Far wall, it's flipped up at the blue line. Chopped in again, Garland. If you want to keep doing this game, Detroit would be the next team. Fed it over. John Marino drops it off. Utah moving slow. They've hurled 22 shots at Artur Silovs. Arturs has done well. Only 1 goal. We had 7 shots on goal, and that is it for the second period. 1-1. We go to the third, all tied up at a goal apiece between the Canucks and the Utah Hockey Club. All right. Off we go to Cleveland, Ohio. Out of bounds after a huge block. They call a foul here on Jackson? How is that a foul? Because he got bumped down? That's a weird call. First free throw, good for Cleveland. All right, Ty Jerome. Jerome's second rolls out. Rebounded by Memphis. So the deficit, 119 to 112, 119 to 114. The deficit is 5. Only a 5-point lead for the Cavs under 2 minutes left. This Memphis team, they have really accelerated after their dismal season last year. Driving to the hole and back out for 3. Good! Strauss again. Cleveland had to hit that. They do, and they go back up by 3. And here's John Morant. He's driving to the hole. He doesn't get it to go, but he gets 2 free throws coming. Now, if he got it to go and hit the free throw, that would have been getting those 3 points back. Instead, the deficit is 8, but he could drop it down to only a 2-possession game sans free throws with both. It's the first. A rainbow shot. Second shot, good as well. And they'll throw it in. Fork back out, Mobley for 3. No good on a rebound. Mobley brings it back. Top of the key, Mitchell! Donovan Mitchell with a tomahawk jam! Memphis has 2 timeouts, and they get it to the hole, and good. No foul. And the Grizzlies are going to trap. This game is close. A minute to go. 6-point lead for Cleveland. The Grizzlies won't die. Off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Memphis. He avoids a bunch of fouls, and they bring it up at the right wing to the top of the key. Here come the Grizzlies. Driving, hooking it into the basket, and good. And the foul. Jackson Jr., and they're within 4. It's a 1-possession game with that play. What a play. And here in Quicken Loans Arena, the Memphis Grizzlies are not showing it to be a bear market. Jaren Jackson Jr., who is 78% from the free throw line, from the charity stripe. And the Cavs are not out of the woods yet, even though there's only 42 seconds left. Both teams have 2 timeouts. First free throw hit. It's a 3-point game. You'd think Mitchell would just grab this ball here so the clock can start. Now he does. And he heads up at half court. It's a 3-point lead. Oh, my goodness. Put on the Canuck game. This tie is egregious. Mitchell driving towards the basket. Floater off the rim. Tapped up. Oh, and they call a foul. Looked like Memphis was going to go and run, but instead a foul with 27 seconds left. It still doesn't mean the game in the fourth quarter. And the first good. Mitchell hits, and he's had 31 points today. Still a one-possession game, although that could change with a free throw, and you wonder if the Grizzlies would call timeout next. Second free throw, good, and timeout Memphis. They have one left, and it is that is a one-possession game. I think he missed the second. It's a 4-point game, and it's 125-121, and they are not, and the Cavs are not out of the woods, and they are taking forever to start this Oklahoma City game now. All right, where do we go here? Is the Calgary game? Detroit Lions, anyway. If you're here still, Trent. Are you here? Oh, okay. Also, ask Josh, too, because I'm wondering where Josh is. Yeah, if you want to keep doing this, Detroit would be the next team, Lions. They got to stay healthy. I think more depth defensively would be something good. I think also another stretch deep threat receiver, somebody you could throw over the top with, would be a great need for them. Besides that, I don't think there's really anything else they need to keep doing except keep fighting through these teams and these speed games. By the way, they are into in the second intermission. San Jose, Calgary. 11:52 in the third, still 4-2 Dallas right now. There were some fouls committed by Cleveland. I think they didn't want shots off for Memphis. The first is no good. This makes it interesting. Now remember, Memphis can call a timeout immediately if he makes it because it would be a dead ball.
For the Cavaliers, this free throw to make it a one-possession game. Game clock at 23.4. So now let's say trying to get a steal, but then
It was a one-possession game, and he misses the second. Now, technically, the maker it's a one-possession game, but it's technically one possession because you have a free throw, but he misses both. So with 20 seconds left, Cleveland now goes to the line to extend the 4-point lead to 6, and then it would be a definitive two-possession game.
the Grizzlies allowed time to run off the clock. Of course, Jaren Jackson Jr. with 5 fouls doesn't want to be the guy that commits it, but 2 other players around him, someone's got to get a hand in there and save some time. Lost precious seconds before they fouled that.
Our next team is Green Bay. First, good. And now it's a two-possession game. Morant checks in for Memphis.
Cavaliers, best winning percentage in the NBA at home against teams currently above 500. 12-3 in such games this season. And looking to make it 13-3 if they can hold on tonight.
So that'll be the next team trick, Green Bay. Morant picks up with speed after they made both free throws. Morant trying to draw the contact. He does not get it to go, but he gets the contact, and he draws the foul. 2 free throws coming for John Morant. He was speeding to the hole, trying to get the and one. And that would have made it immediately back to a one-possession game Well, it is going to be a one-possession game if he hits both. This would be a 4-point deficit, but it would be the one-possession game reliant on a free throw. Instead of being able to just score, they now need some help. Morant hits the first. Hits the second. And another foul committed by Memphis. Aye. Sorry, guys.
What's your outlook for this Cavaliers team? Of course, the Celtics are tough. There are other teams in the East that want to be in the mix as well. I think I'm much more of a believer now.
I don't. You know what? I'm thinking about it because this game is taking so long. It's almost 10. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do OKC. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do OKC and what's it called, and Minnesota. I'm leaning towards no. I think we're just going to finish hockey. Yeah. I finalized it. We're just going to finish hockey. We're not going to do that. So Trent, if you want, I would probably, if you're gonna just go to do the coast stream soon because we're gonna finish the Canuck game and then the rest of the Calgary game. I'm too tired to do the Oklahoma City game. That hasn't even started yet. I mean, they haven't even started. All right, that's fine. That's fine. You could co-stream another day. Okay. I'm just moving back to another spot to stream because okay, we're back. Yeah, you have to charge well, you could do it off being charged. Yeah, if you charge your phone, it's not going to die on you if you say. But I would just charge it into the wall. Anyway, there's 9 seconds left in that fourth quarter. 129, 123. In favor of Cleveland. Unless they go to the Oklahoma City game and there's they've already played a quarter or half a quarter, then that might be possible. But if they show up and they haven't even warmed up yet, then there's no shot. By the way, it's over. Cleveland wins 129-123. They beat Memphis by 6, and there's only one game left, which we are heavily leaning towards not doing. All right, so the Thunder, okay. So they are underway, but there's 9 minutes left. Still left in the first. I don't know. Again, I'm back to thinking maybe. You know what? If they let me see. So we got another period of play here. Could you stay the whole time? Like, would you go into 11 o'clock? Would you beat somebody if it's halftime to just talk, or are you gonna go to bed soon? Because if you're gonna go to bed soon, I don't need to do it. But if you are, I can muster enough energy to stream this. I know you don't care about the NBA, but it's a good closure of everything. Let me know. By the way, it's a foul on Oklahoma City. Clark is going to the line, and Timberwolves is playing great right now. They're playing great transition defense to offense. Strong, fast basketball. By the way, 7:47 left in the third. It is 4-3. The Islanders are within one. They are not going away just yet. Back to the NBA. Gilgeous-Alexander feeds it to the free throw line, and we have a foul. I think it's an off-ball foul. Timberwolves lead 9-5. They are 7th in the West. Oklahoma City first in the Western Conference with the second best record in the NBA, only behind one team. The team you just saw, Cleveland. To the baseline, and Timberwolves keep it alive. Bounce pass behind the back. Naz Reid slams it home. Timeout, Oklahoma City. This place is going nuts. What a play by Naz Reid. And he slinks towards the rim, and this was all because of a pass from close to the out-of-bound line to keep it in, and it is a 6-point lead for the Timberwolves, 11-5 against Oklahoma City.
That's right, Craig. We're pulling in the perfect team to get the job done. I'm just here for the internet. AT&T, it's super fast.
You locked us out?
And when we were thrown a curveball, we had everything we needed to figure that out. Don't worry, we have AT&T internet backup. The next little network for small business. Hello. With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy. Get 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy.
Start of that face. That's the face of, I don't know. That's right. The Canucks are playing a back-to-back. We're back in Salt Lake City. They lost last night 3-1 to Vegas. That was a tough one. Very tough. Again, that was fed off the showing at the far wall we were talking about. And the Canucks have needed a game like this where they have had some control, but again, they're getting lampooned with shots here. It's not what you want at all. It has been really tough. It's been one of those games. So we'll be ready to go here. Logan Cooley against Heathel, but they win the draw. Canucks slingshot it back out off the red line and send it on down. Pettersson was there. There's a good hit by Besser. He staples the puck. Lafferty back out in front. Fakes one over to the corner. A backhand feed, and it was chipped away from Besser. Besser up behind on a one hand. Sweeps it to the corner. Back out to the blue line. Fed one left hash. Delays, skates in. Besser a shot. Blocked. Is blocked. That it's off the red line and down. Philip Ronick. Philip to move in. Swept the leg. Backhand fed one across. And is banked off the dasher. Mikhail Sergachev with it. On the drop pass, and it comes right back out to center. Intercepted, though, and a feed comes out to the left hash mark. Kiefer Sherwood a shot, and that was blocked up high. Good hit by Sherwood. Turnover for Lumpston down, and it comes off the corner. Barrett Hayton sweeps it up. Turnstiling it, looking for Kesselrink. We'll bring it in. Puce Suter. Dropped off at the left line. Forked on through an out break. Coming the other way. Right hash. Drop pass. Fed one. And it was cycled down. Derek Forbert. Yeah, I made my decision. It's still taking time out in that game. As this is fed through, blocked aside. Yeah, I'm not going to go to the Oklahoma City game. So, yeah, I made my final decision, if you were wondering, Trent. We are going to be done once all the hockey is done, and there is a penalty coming up, and it's on Utah. After Dakota Joshua was tripped, that's the one thing they've had trouble with. They have been assessed a lot of penalties in this game. Clayton Keller. No, not Clayton Keller. Was that Austin Krause? It's not Krause. It should be on 22. But they're going to call it. Garland. Connor Garland swung on. Garland waits. Tipped it left hash. Drops it along Brock. Brock a drive. Blocked aside. A minute to go in the power play. Besser has 14 power play points this year, and he'd love some more. Fed one at the blue line. Phillip drops it back off. Connor Garland crossed it in the slot. Shot save made. Rebound. Mielka holds it. One out in the power play, and it's shot out to the right hash mark. Civils one right corner. Back in a chopped puck. It deflects off the boards, and it went out of play with 16:34 to go in the third. Yeah, my goodness. This Minnesota game has had so many stoppages. They haven't even hit 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Yeah, there's no way. Josh didn't get back to me. Okay, it's good to see you again. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me or not, Josh. I am Josh again. Trent, I am not, and it has nothing to do with our Josh. It has to do with my friend from work. It has to. This game, they're just under the 5 minute mark in the first quarter. There's no way I'd be able to do this as it's fed on through and it's chopped away and kicked aside. So I wouldn't be able to do that NBA game. So we're going to be done after the end of all the NHL games. This and the Calgary game, we're still waiting final score on the game with Dallas and the Islanders. 4:20 to go in the third there. Still 4-3 Dallas. Who's goaltending? It's Seelovs. It is Seelovs, who has 22 stops on 23 shots. And there is 11 saves for Vejmelka, 12 shots. It's been a great game. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Lawson Krause. And I don't know who's getting called here. If it's going to be Jake DeBrusk for us. Yeah, it is. So Lawson Krause is off for 2 minutes, and so is Jake. Yeah, Lawson Krause didn't like it because it was dumped off the corner, and Cooley went out. He wanted to just go for a change, and Jake hit him with a good shoulder check. But that was the smart call. It was a clean hit, and then they roughed each other afterwards. So drop both guys off. The problem with the Canucks, though, is that that's not a guy you want to lose in Jake DeBrusk. Phillip weaves his way right circle. Phillip always seems to play great hockey when I'm streaming a game. Drops it right back out at the blue line. Fed one Heatle. Back out Besser. A bobbling puck. And it's swung off the blue line. Struggle to get it as Philip Ronick. Backhanded off the boards. 4-on-4, the minute 20 left on it. Closing in on 5 minutes into this third period. Still 1-1 our score. Right circle, it's Elias, hangs on at the boards. Elias delays. I know they were mentioning about the Vegas game. That was an early game go-ahead goal in the third. Tyler Myers' shot deflects out and goes out of play with 15:02 to go in the final period of hockey here. Myers just never got that to go. Like he would have wanted to. Back out Myers a shot. That one hoisted on through. Where it again can be swung on down. Fed down, crossed on back. Chopped along at the blue line. Canucks hoisted on in. Shot towards the net, and it was tipped. Gunther wades in for Utah. Gunther's tied up, and he went down. But no penalty. Kiefer Sherwood slides in the left hash. Lost it on the backhand and swept out Elias with it. Elias Pettersson. Elias dropping it off. Fed to the far wall, Mancini. Back out to Kiefer. Kiefer to Elias. Elias delays the line. Forked up at the far corner. Chopped down at the wall. Slinked in the red, and now Heatle frees one up. Goes away from Krause. He got hit hard. He got walled down. It's out to the blue line. Delays the line. Drive. Ronick. Oh, and it went off the blocker of Vejmelka. He goes back up and tries to go grab the puck again, or tries to stay up to his feet where they grab the puck in the corner. 7 minutes in to the third. Good hit off the puck by them. Oh, and it ain't called roughing. Tied up, and it's out to center. Here's Kesselrink. He delays the line. Kesselrink drips, drops it off. There's a drive, deflected, save made. Saved by Shelovs, but they hold the puck. A drive by Kesselrink. It tipped again to the corner. Back out a tipped over, and a save made. Rebound! And we forked the puck, finally assisted to center ice down the red line. Oh, what a play. That was startling. Canucks will bring it in. Bluger again. By the way, 3:30 left in the first quarter, 25-15 Oklahoma City. So, boy, did they come back with a rush of their own. And we got a hand pass, and we got a break coming. 12 minutes to go in the third period. 1-1 still between the Canucks and Utah. Let's go to Calgary game, I guess. Either that or the NBA game. Sure, we'll go to that. So there's 16:50 to go in the third there. It's a tie game and a shot that just missed the net for Calgary, as it is 2-2 between the Sharks and the Flames. We'll go right there when this game's over, and that'll be the final game to mainly broadcast, although through commercials and breaks in that one and this one, we would stave over to the NBA game. Let's check if we have an update on the Dallas game. 2:37 left. It is still 4-3 Stars. Puck swept off the far side, and it'll bank all the way down, and it will be an icing against San Jose. But a chance for them, 29-24 outshot for San Jose. And a big face-off coming. We'll go right to Vancouver in a second. Big face-off coming for Calgary. It's one on down, and San Jose tries to bring it up far side. They'll sweep it back into the zone, and it is not going to be icing. It's going to be slinked around the corner. Sharks motor on through. Tipped up high, swiveled around the far boards, and jets right back out to center. Yes, you're right. Toffoli scored the goal that tied up the game. So that game's still tied up. This game's still tied up. This game's been tied up for a heck of a lot longer. 11:50 to go in the third. And we have a offside. Fed one at the far wall. Elias tried to find something and could not. Goes away from the linesman. Chips right back out at the corner. Canucks send it out to the blue line. Here's a wrist shot one out in front, and it again got chopped right down at the blue. Cooley chases. Fed one down in the off the red line as well as it gallops across. Chopped it, Connor Garland. Deflects his way down. And it's fed at the far side, Cooley again. Utah trying to find something. They've had 26 shots on goal, 25 stopped by Artur Silovs. We've had 12 shots on goal, 11 saves by Vimielka. Stopped again, and there's a huge play to the far side. Another drive. That blocked in front comes off the red line, and down it goes. It rolls through. Dakota Joshua chasing. Slipped one at the right hash mark. Now here comes Utah. They'll slingshot it ahead. Cooley in the backhand. Cooley drips, delays, waits for a puck to come off the corner. Gets it creased down in front, and it's swept up by Archer Seelovs with 10:24 to go in the regulation period. Another NBA score update with OKC and Minnesota. 105 to go in the first quarter. You see my point why I'm not doing that? 31-21, Thunder by 10. But what? We have had one overtime game today, and it was on our air, remember. That was Red Wings and Anaheim. Red Wings won in overtime thanks to Patrick Kane. Game probably shouldn't have gone to overtime after the Wings were up 4-1. But they were able to get the 2 points. That's all that matters. And the puck is darted back in the Canucks zone. Backhander off the boards. Not sure next time we'll stream, let you know. Puck off the far side. And a rattling hit that comes up at the corner. Swung on down McBain. Swivel to the far wall. Down along the boards, and Kesselrink's shot. And it is out of play. 9:41 to go in the third. We are still tied at a goal apiece. And we're back. All right. Back to Calgary, San Jose. Puck went to their goaltender, and are they going to go to a break with 13:20 left? They are. 13:20 left. Flames are trying to get a tip in, and they were not able to. It stays 2-2 there. All right. Okay, NBA time. Yeah. The wild card is wide open in the East. They are, what are they viewing in Minnesota? Okay, so see if the ball hit the rim. They're just seeing if the ball hit the rim, which would end the first quarter. We believe. Taking a long time to look at that out there in Minneapolis with the Thunder by 11. Or if he was fouled. No, that's what they're looking at. See if he was fouled before the horn. Not sure. So they're recapping how everything has gone here. One for Logan Cooley, one for Jake DeBrusk. We are still tied under 10 minutes to play. 1-1 our score. Myers dropped it through, but he turned it over after winning the draw. There's a shot towards the net, and it was deflected out of play by Kiefer Sherwood. Still waiting for a final from Dallas, and we got it. 4-3 Stars win it in Belmont. The Stars knock off the Islanders 4-3. A game where they were more of the dominant team. The Islanders couldn't set it to overtime. So but we got 2 more tie games. And here's Elias Pettersson. Elias, and he lifted it over the crossbar. Elias Pettersson had a breakaway and a chance to make it 2-1. In the Canucks' second lead of the game. Utah's never led. Gunther hit. Deflected at the far side. And Phillips sends it out behind the net. It's got that feeling when the next goal wins. You have that feeling. It's that aura coming between these two teams, the way they've played hockey today. 1-1 our score. That at the right circle. Here's Kevin Stenlund, tries to drip it in, stays onside. Swings it over to Dursey. Sean Dursey, and he fanned on it. Puck back to neutral. We'll keep it. Swinging in Myers. Chopped off of Dursey, and Canucks thinking of changing. Don't. There's a hit. And we'll go back down in our zone and take it. Now we change behind the play. They don't as well, so that might be the move now, possibly. There's Tyler Myers. More guys coming off for the Canucks. A bobbling puck, and Utah brings it in. They'll rink it up the far side. Swung to the corner. Better team in a couple years, San Jose or Utah? Utah earlier. Utah's going to get there before San Jose will. I think San Jose has the better upside. I think they'll be able to do more with their youth. So Utah is going to be a very good team. They'll be a good playoff team. But I don't know how far they'll go into the playoffs. If San Jose plays their cards right, I think they can win a Stanley Cup eventually. I believe that. Left circle, Teddy a drive and a save made by Vamielka. What a play by Teddy Bluger. But Utah circles the puck out. It's backhanded off the blue line. It's swept down into the zone. We've got icing on Utah. Yeah, Pettersson didn't really realize how wide open he was. He tried to flick it high. He knew there was room. Maybe he should have tried to shoot it through him. He's 68 points a game this season, which is a career low for Elias. Oh, no. Break for Utah. Coming in on goal. Saved by Artars. Where's the puck? He's on his knees. He got it. He got it. And Josh Doan is trying to body slam 3 Canucks to the boards. He was angry. He was pushing them. He is really upset. My goodness. Josh Doan got away on a break. And what a play by Shelovs sitting down. That would have made it 2-1 Utah. Oh, my goodness. What an advantageous save for Artur Shelovs. Puck off the far wall. Tipped inside. It was Derek Forbert. Fans want to call on the Canucks. I think they're getting it. Canucks are going to their first kill. We have been great on the power play, but we are going to the kill here. And the Canucks are a team that our only goal was scored on special teams. Utah has not been on the power play. Their goal is 5-on-5, and Derek Forbert's going to be called for holding at a critical time in this game with 6:59 left in it. And Utah will go to the power play. Schmaltz has 5 power play goals. He is on the right. No, that's right. They were on 3 power plays, and they've had 6 shots, and they have not done anything with it. We win the draw, and we'll sweep it in shorthanded at the red line. Banking it in is Filipronic and a full line change. Mikhail Sergachev on the bump pass. Send it on through. 1:40 to go in the power play. They'll drop it off. 28 shots for Utah. Schmaltz feeds in. Schmaltz goes to the goal. Nowhere to go for him, though. Sergachev shoots wide. Slinked one at the corner. Fed one to Schmaltz. Oh, and a save by Sheelovs. Oh, a tremendous save by Sheelovs. Gunther can't keep it in all the way down and clear. Oh, my goodness. That close is insane. Fed one on the back end. It's Kellerink. Kellerink. Under a minute to go on the man advantage in the power play. Sergachev, left circle. Fed one back, Schmaltz. Schmaltz a drive. They score. Gunther, and it's tipped in. Well, they've played such good hockey in this game. And Dylan Gunther has tipped it in. It is 2-1 Utah on their 30th shot of the night. And they are off the schneid on the power play. 1 of 4 today, but they'll take it. Utah 2, Canucks 1. We trail for the first time. Just a gut punch. A gut punch. Dylan Gunther goes right to the net and just tips this far side in. No question about it. I think Lincoln extension was a good one, but you got a lot of different goaltenders that you can use. And he's the backup because we don't know what's going on with Thatcher Demko on the IR. Puck is swept in. Utah has their first lead thanks to Dylan Gunther. And now the Canucks are trailing, and now you got to come from behind. Do not let what happened against Vegas come back and get you. And actually, the Canucks may be in danger of slipping out of a playoffs position for the first time in a while if Calgary wins the game against the Sharks. I think that might be something that's possible. No, they're not. But it puts them in a precarious position if Calgary wins and we lose in regulation because it would be 63-61. Then Utah, who's at 57, would jump to 59. They'd be in striking position. You already would have St. Louis at 58. Fed one on the far angle. Crosses it off the boards. Doan swept to the corner. There's a shot towards the net. That one deflected a far side. Chipped along the end. 4:20 to go in the third. See when we bring the extra man on. There's 7:47 left in Calgary, by the way. Still tied up at 2. Utah leads 2-1. We'll slink it up at the backhand, and it goes all the way down in the Canucks zone. No icing. Will be icing. Will be icing, actually. Against Utah. By the way, 8:40 left in the second quarter in Minnesota. 47-28 Oklahoma City. They're running wild right now over the Timberwolves. A 19-point lead after they were trailing early in the game, and they have not looked back. Backhander by Pius Suter. Hopefully Utah can look back. We need to get the puck back in our possession. Slanked right off the corner. Back out at the far wall. Banging away at it, Forbert. 3:30 to go in the third. There's a battle for the puck, and it's swept to the far side. It clanks its way at the red line. That out on the drop pass. Give her Sherwood. was there on a drive that slinked by, and now a break the other way for Utah. Going in on goal, shoots and getting a piece of it was Artur Silovs. They keep in the offensive zone. Unable to do anything, the Canucks will put it out to the red line, and Utah rattles it in off the boards. Tries to deke the line, and at the red, hammered in. Rattled on back. This puck rolls off the red line. Canucks try to ram it in. Bank it in. Brock Besser feeds it up at the far end. Turnaround shot and a save made. Rebound loose in front. Oh, we have a chance. Brock Besser. And he just misses his man at the left hash. Let's see when Archer leaves. Maybe soon. Back out to Phillip. Fakes the drive at the right corner. At the right wall, we trail 2-1. With just over 2 minutes left in the game, Utah is trying to get it out of the zone. They cannot. Keep the puck in. Oh, right off the far side. In the right wall. Utah again tries to sink it. It's over to Doan. Doan in the one hand. He'll sweep out to the red line. They want a penalty. None. No call. No call. And there are boo birds everywhere here. Josh Doan does not get the tripping call. Will slink in at the right wall. Fed right out in front. Oh, what a save by Vimjelka. The pass tip was there for Dakota Joshua to tie the game, and yet it stays 2-1 Utah. Minute 41 to go in the third. Oh, my. (7-11). They're at a break in Calgary. It is still 2-2 there. Only had 14 shots on Vimjelka. He's made 13 saves. And the best player in the game has been Artur Silovs with 30 stops. Artur is not on the ice. He's on the bench. Extra man. We have a timeout if we want to take it at some point. Face-off tied up. Elias goes right back down. Utah initially wins it, and they'll send it all the way down and wide of the empty net. Icing against Utah. Same guys have to go back on with a minute 33 left, and now maybe timeout. By the way, yeah, Oklahoma City is just nailing Timberwolves. They went on a little bit of a run, and still they trail by a large margin. 19-point lead again. 50-31 with 8:06 left in the first half of the second quarter. Oh, a referee got hit. Whistle down. The referee got chopped, and he's down on his knees. And Alex Kerfoot tried to get the puck out for Utah. And he hit the referee in lower area. We'll just say that. And he was trying to send it to the empty net. And while doing so, before the puck could get flown down, it hit the referee in that aforementioned spot. And that hurts. Can only imagine. And the linesman's on his feet, and he is cowering a little bit. But he's going to take a drink, and he's going to stay on the ice. They're going to put this puck at center ice, which I think is probably the appropriate spot because it shouldn't really be an offensive zone draw for them at all. It probably shouldn't even be for us because they would like that, but, you know, you're talking about being equal and everything. I mean, that wasn't his fault that puck slammed into the spot that it did. All right, Archers goes to the bench. Extra man on the ice. We have the puck in the offensive zone. Fed one back, Brock Besser. Brock right, Elias. Elias Pettersson. Elias, and he's double teamed, and Utah tries to send it to the empty net. It is wide to the empty net. Icing with 52 seconds left. Oh, that was dangerously close. And thank goodness he was not at the red line, or that would not have been icing. And with the Utah guy speeding out behind, you could have won a battle, sent that in, and that would have been the game. 2-1, 52 seconds left. Canucks trail. You know, Timberwolves are starting to really go on that aforementioned run we talked about. By the way, there's 5:53 left in the third, and this is bad news for the Canucks as they send it down, and it will be icing. It's bad news for them. Calgary has taken the lead, 3-2, with 5:53 to play. Big face-off in the offensive zone for the Canucks. Elias up against him, trying to kick it back to Hronek. Phillip waits, delays. Good defensive work being done by Utah. We got to get some free spots. There's a slot shot save made. Oh, it's deflected out behind the net. 30 seconds to go in the third. 6-on-5. We'll bring it up. Phillip Hronek right at the right circle. We have not scored a 5-on-5 goal. This isn't a 5-on-5 goal. It's technically special teams. Our only goal is special teams. It was 5-on-4. This is 6-on-5. Utah tries to get it out of the zone. Gunther lobs it down. I don't think it'll be enough for icing. It's not. We have to get on our horse now. 10 seconds to go in the third. Swept back out the blue line. Chopped right into the red. And Utah slinks it out. They'll try to get it out of the ice, out of the zone. They cannot. It's teed right back up the red line. Down the ice it goes, and that's the hockey game. Very unfortunate. Utah wins. Utah wins it 2-1 over the Canucks, and now we go to the final game. Calgary and San Jose. We mentioned that Calgary is up. Calgary is up 3-2 with 5:47 left. So there is that. But Utah has won it. With 2-1. A very unfortunate ending for the Canucks. 5:40 to go in the third here. Chopped on down. Calgary moves it in. The backhand feed towards the net. And tried to bank it in again. Freed up towards the net. I mentioned we were talking about if Calgary wins this in regulation, well, wins it in general. If they win, then they will be within 1 point of 8th in the West. Calgary banks it along the corner. Fed it on down off the rolling puck. Slipped all the way back and kept off the stick. Glance down at the boards. Fed one on William Eklund. Oh, the save made. Rebound. Puck loose in front. Jamming at the blue line. They'll slink it to the far angled left corner. Towards the net. Tries to chop it up high and tip it along the dasher. Right out at the red line, and the Sharks reset. 3:50 to go in the third. There's the backpedaled puck. Swung again, looking for Eklund. Eklund towards the net. Nothing doing there. It's Toffoli. Right corner. Toffoli. 3:35 left. You wonder if the Sharks pull their netminder. After this, the stream will be over, by the way. Calgary tries to set it out to center ice, and they do, and they bring in Kadri. Kadri along the line. No extra man yet. Kadri leaping, and in the air, he shot the puck, flying to make that play, and it is stopped once again. That is not a goal for the Sharks. That is a false alarm. And it is 3-2 Calgary with an offensive zone faceoff coming. A very key spot for them. Backlund, well, they lose the draw and the Sharks win it. But Coleman steals it on back for the Flames. Coleman looking to pick the pocket. We've had one overtime game today. Sharks, maybe can they possibly make it another? There's a drive by Anderson, and it's off the boards. Flames keep it in. They want to get out of the zone and bring their goaltender to the bench, and his puck is out of play with 2:56 to go in the third. And just like that, they are calling delay of game against the Sharks for trying to get this puck out, and that is a rookie mistake from a young player. They got to bank it off, and they throw it out of play, and now the Flames, with 2:56 left in the game, up a goal, are going to the power play, which means if you get your goaltender out of there, it's only even strength, 5-on-5, and still it is basically a power play because you also can send the puck down to the empty net. Now, the problem that would ensue, though, is that if Calgary tries to jam the puck to the empty net and they ice it, then there'll be a defensive zone face-off for them while on the power play, and it's stolen away. Here come the Sharks, bring in a shorthanded 2-on-1. Try to feed it up high. Another third player comes in, and finally they fork it back out to center ice. Sharks loft one off the boards. Man, that would have been interesting if the Sharks were to score on a shorthanded goal like that. But here comes Kadri. Wheels in on the power play, taken by San Jose. And they'll try to dump it, but it's turned over. Huberdeau to Kadri. Kadri a shot, and it's stopped and held with 2:19 to go in the third. By the way, there's 3:54 left in the second. Minnesota is now really starting to slash at that lead. It is somehow a one-possession game. Timberwolves' run has been prolific. They trail only by 9 with about 3:40 left in the the second quarter there. Vigar with it. A minute 10 and change to go in this power play. Closing in on 2 minutes left in the third. It's 3-2. And now a shorthanded chance for the Sharks. Moving in on goal. Fake shoots high. It may have been deflected by the goaltender. Another shorthanded opportunity for San Jose. Flames change. It's been a good kill. The problem is the Sharks do not have the clock on their side. Backhanded off the corner. Swung along the boards, and down it goes. Clear. Forced it on down Frost. He hammers it in. Rattled on through with some snow. It's Michael Backlund. Another 30 seconds left in the man advantage, but we're getting closer to only a minute left in the game. And the Sharks need to try to tie the game. Connor Zary trying to chip it in front, and it's stolen away. San Jose, I think, are really just don't want to go for anything until the man comes out of the box. Extra man of the ice. It's 5-on-5 till they get their blue liner out. Fed one back out, and a one-timer was teed up, and it's chopped along the corner. Sharks have killed off the penalty. It's officially now a 6-on-5. They go to the empty net. It's blocked by the guy that came right out of the penalty box. And I think they just called an offside on Calgary. No, are they calling a penalty? On William Eklund? What is the call here? I heard a penalty call, but I didn't hear a roar from the crowd. Another penalty. Are you kidding me? The Sharks just committed another penalty literally 5 seconds out of the man that came out of the box. And now one of your best scorers who had a chance on a one-timer, Will Eklund, gets called for slashing. And he will not be able to be back until midway through overtime if you get there. So the Sharks are going to need to score a goal, essentially 5-on-5 with the extra man. And they can't do that right now. They're shorthanded now because with 48 seconds left, they have to win a defensive zone draw. It's bad luck for the Sharks. And they'll try to bank it around Ferraro. It comes right off the corner. Now, when does the goaltender leave? We'll see. Under 40 seconds left, there's a hit on Vigar. Sharks hoisting it into the offensive zone. Vigar tries to get it out. Extra man comes. Remember, the Flames is a double-edged sword if you ice it, but they're over the red lines. They don't have to worry about that. Toffoli chipped right back out. Sharks will move it on in and force right back down and across into the Calgary zone. Closing in on 10 seconds left in the period. In the game, a point shot, wristed from the boards towards the net. It's deflected wide. They got to get it on net now. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's stopped and sealed. They have 1.5 on the clock. I wonder if they put more. Wolf made the stop for Calgary. Oh, what a mask, too. He's got the Johnny Gaudreau on the back of his mask for his late former teammate, but I wonder how much clock they put on. Officially, it's 1.5 right now. Sharks need a clean win on the draw. And I think they want to call timeout. Not yet. Now it's 1.8 they put on the clock. And now they call a timeout. So timeout, Sharks. Didn't Tyler Toffoli have a goal like that against the Bruins when he was an LA King? So they got to get 1.8. If the draw isn't clean, then you basically have to just find the puck quickly from the draw and just gun it at the goal. Because remember, it's not like basketball. It's not if the shot's on net. You never know if a shot is on net. So it's not if the shot's on net and it was after the puck is rolling after the horn. No, the puck has to go completely over the goal line before the horn. Denver try to draw it up, and it comes to the corner. Calgary wins the draw, and that's the game. Flames win it 3-2. Costly penalties at the end, but the Sharks nearly came back, but the Flames win it, and that ends this Sunday matinee of hockey. Good night, everybody. Happy hockey, everybody. We'll see you soon. Not sure when, but soon for the next stream and broadcast.